But I wanted to have some information because something to follow up on for the meeting on Tuesday. But I was thinking, oh, now I've communicated.
No, because we're not all going to have emails, and there's still going to be communications among members and selectmen through their personal emails. But all official emails coming into the town,
directed from the website, I guess.
Directed from the website.
Because it's really that. It's like, because they're going to click on that, it's going to bring up their email utility and send it that way. So it's kind of just from that email phase, I think.
Okay.
Our newsletters, because those are typically another kind of official business, those typically have the @BrookfieldNH.org email addresses. But personal communications for everyday business, you know, I don't think we're gonna.
That's why we discussed
go away from that. You're gonna still forward.
Each selectman a laptop and assigning them their own email.
But then you run into problems that every committee, everything, you know, I think if you direct that way.
I hope that wasn't caused by me.
I think it's still okay to email from direct business because the chairman is going to still communicate with the board on personal emails, but it's that root email coming in from like the website, I think that we're trying to kind of.
And organizationally, once that's put in that book for every place in the state, say Wakefield can email us what we're going to be paying for things next year instead of having to mail a letter. And it's official. That kind of thing. Anyway, there's a motion on the table. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. I sure hope I wasn't the cause of that, Ed.
No water.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Something in the water, guys.
Okay. Around there, so we all get our placement.
Like the orange juice from Brazil. BSM.
And you'd asked me to find out about John Dancero's job description, and there's a copy.
Doesn't mention will it will be done, and when things will be done.
The only thing they mentioned, I believe, is after this area out front is plowed. But anyway, that's the document that was set up in 2006.
So, I think what we need to do is reset down and redo a new contract with him, an official contract, that specifies that when it snows, how much snow needs to fall before he's required to come over and clear the walkways, and how fast it needs to be responded to.
Sounds great.
How often do we expect him to mow the lawn in the summertime? The grass should be no taller than 3 inches, 5 inches,
Not 5.
10. Those kind of things.
I know just the person for that project.
Make a motion.
Did I hear Clifton volunteer to?
Sure, I'll squeeze it in.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know this wonderful attorney that's got all that great language.
We have 2 weeks to get our town report narratives in for the town report.
I have a question.
I thought that was already due.
Mary Lou, go.
So in an email that we received, it indicated that the files were wanted in PDF format.
No.
It did.
Subject to
I
discussion.
know. I told him I told him that that was wrong. He was supposed to send out another email correcting that.
And I didn't do that.
Oh,
Because I have no way of...
Upon advice of the
That's what we're
boss.
trying to figure out.
That's
I have
what
no
we're
way of
trying to
editing
figure out.
PDF.
Some of us that knew that were
Thank you.
wondering if it needed to be discussed.
It did. They actually need just to be in regular Word documents. And that makes it easy to cut and paste and do any minor corrections that need to be done to put it in the book.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Question.
Makes more sense.
Could you take one of these documents and scan it? And
Do they
Yes, you
automatically
can.
offset the
Why don't you
margins?
talk about that?
Or is that
no, we do that.
Okay.
When I take the book up, it has to be ready, it has to be book ready.
Okay, if we do get it in PDF and we can print it out, we now have a scanner which prints on both sides where we can scan it to the computer and get it to you.
Yeah, but he can't.
Yeah, but
You
then
can't
I-
manipulate
You can't
data,
manipulate.
But then I can't manipulate data.
because it scans to
Now,
OCR.
hold
It
it.
scans right
That's the
to
whole
Word.
reason we're going to this system is so
Yes,
you cannot
and then you
manipulate.
No. The
It
reason
can,
we're
but
going
you
to
can
the
lose
system,
characters on scanning sometimes, because
You
it's
can.
scanning to Word, and that it's an
really
interpretation
check
of the
it.
language there.
Most of it was right on. I mean,
Depending, but if someone, I play with that a lot, and
Yeah.
I would think, why do that when you already have the original document?
Oh, I agree.
Because all
Yeah.
these people already have the original documents, just
This
send it in
in
doc.
particular was something that we didn't never had a PDF for.
Yes,
but
no,
maybe-
it is. It's
And
a
that's
great-
what I needed it for.
It is,
so.
it's a great.
it still has to be
um,
manipulated to a point to fit it within the margins.
Okay,
But
the
it's
bottom
not gonna
line
have to be redone.
is what format? I'll send it.
Microsoft Word document.
Can you do
Or
dot
so.
X, just in case someone sends you, if you have a newer version of,
I have 2010.
you're fine.
You're talking about XP?
Because some people save it out as a doc X, and if you had an older version, you wouldn't be able to open
Yeah,
it.
I have 2010.
Then you're fine with 10.
Okay, I will send out an email to that effect.
The faster they get them in, the faster I can get them back to be proofed.
And I haven't written mine yet either, so welcome to the club, folks.
And when you say Microsoft Word or Excel, correct? Right? Mary Lou's not going to do her stuff in Word.
Right, Excel.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on that?
No Lotus.
Pardon me?
No Lotus 1, 2, 3.
We're getting there,
Oh.
folks.
I used to do that.
I know.
Just because I have gray hair, you know?
No, I remember the program when it
Me
first
too.
came out.
And I have
Some old Lotus habits.
a copy for Mary Lou, and there's a copy for the public. These are draft warrant articles, and hang on, I want one.
Thanks.
Once they're all passed out and everybody's got a copy, I'll go over them very quickly. Subject to Mary Lou's needing her computer to input the data. If it's different.
I figured I'd do it at home.
Okay, you got the document. Anyway, $500 capital reserve fund for the Scholastic Recognition Award Fund. I'm looking at the other two selectmen for yes or no. Okay. $1,000 expendable trust fund, town building office equipment fund. That's to go and keep that.
Yes.
$5,000 expendable trust fund for the town building and grounds maintenance fund, and that's the one where we anticipate needing monies. We've got 31,000, but you could do that in a paint job practically and destroy it. And we've got Heritage Commission issues, so
Building issues.
moving right along. $75,000 to be added to the road and bridge repair capital reserve fund.
Okay. That increases the budget by $15,000, and that now makes it over last year's budget. That would increase us up to $775,000 in the budget, which is an increase of $2,200, give or take a few pennies and quarters.
So my only question is, do you want to,
Do we increase it
or do you
that
want
much, or do we, and then decrease our budget somewhere
to?
else?
We have enough in the capital reserve fund. We do not have to do that. We could go with 60,000 if necessary. Bill?
I'm trying to look at something. Wait a second.
707.
Yeah, I don't want to use that figure.
Okay, and you are looking at.
But we have
what?
over 100,000 in the
Line number,
fund now.
It's the one that's at 6.
'Cause I
capital
see-
outlay 4904500.
Four or five, okay. But we're putting in,
We're-
what's,
we're-
So if we raise it, if we raise it to this warrant article here, that adds $15,000 to that line, which then changes your bottom line by
all right,
$15,000.
could you go over what the difference is for the transfer to capital reserve of 75,000 that's on 4915.201?
That is going into the capital reserve
Okay.
fund as part of
So we're
our,
putting in, but we're only gonna, according to this, we were, by the warrant article, that's what we would be taking out is only.
we would be taking out the same thing we put in this year.
I see.
And the idea was to put a little bit more in than we were taking out to kind of try to build that back up.
I see that
But
right
we
in front of
can,
me
we
now.
can stick with the 60, stick with the 60,000. That's what you're proposing, right, Cliff?
Well, I mean, if you guys want to get it close to level funding, you could go
Well,
7,000 or 10,000 and still be under last year's budget.
no, let's just stick with 60. Because we're mainly putting that in the capital reserve fund, which, as we know, has a little over 100,000 in it now. So that's not a problem in and of itself.
So the 60,000 would be for the project, and any overages from that 60,000 on that project would then come out of the operating budget of the road agent.
No, this is actually monies to go into the trust fund.
No.
The next warrant article is to take money out of there to spend for the road.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. So leave that at 75. So it's the next one down, number 6, that I had the question on. I'm tired, it's a long day.
All right, that makes me feel better.
See,
Yeah, I got
warrant
it.
article number 5 is 75 to go into your pocket to set it aside.
Which is what we want.
Article 6 is 75,000 to take it out of the trust to spend it on a project.
Okay, now back up and replay everything I just said before that one, 75 for 6.
Okay.
Yes, Tom?
The initial estimate for that project for next year is over 75. It's almost-
But we've said, as a policy, anything that exceeds that 75 will come out of the Ed's O&M budget.
No, I don't think we said that.
But if you do,
We talked about it.
now you've got to make up that 15 out of the operating budget.
Right, out of the road agent's budget.
Road agent's
Wait a
budget.
minute, all right. Maybe it's
Is
just.
there enough to do that?
Wait a minute, I
Yes.
thought the money
Project
that
of
over, I thought there
$90,000.
were certain things that would come out of Ed's if they went over. But on the other hand, if that project would cost, say, $80,000 for the sake of argument, a paving job,
Yeah.
and we had approved 60,
Right?
the other 20 would come out of what we have in the capital reserve fund.
No,
No, you'd only.
No.
can't touch the capital
Can't touch it.
reserve fund.
You have to ask the voters to take
Oh,
it.
no, I know we have to ask them to
Yeah.
take it out. I'm assuming the voters, we're asking approval for the voters rather than taking it from Ed's.
Let me give you worst case. Garney Road was when we had the $4 a gallon gas and asphalt prices went out of the chart. And we had about enough money to pave one side of the road and half of the other, and we ran out of money. We spent a little over 90,000 that year, but we were authorized to 75,000 out of the trust fund, and the rest of it came out of Ed's O&M. And we managed to do it and still cover snow and all that other stuff. So the system we're using has been working good. This year, we came in 10,000 under.
And nothing says, and we haven't even decided actually, as a board, what road projects we're going to do this year.
But if you are going to do what the road committee suggested,
Yeah.
that initial amount for that project is what, 93,000? I don't have it with me, so I can't.
Yeah, but it's more than one road that was being done.
That was strictly Lyford Road.
Yeah,
That's the one project for two.
But we have further discussion to do on how wide the road's going to be, which is a policy we need to establish here. And